You know, it's in this season where we come to realize that there's a calling greater than what we've been responding to. There's a call that keeps calling us to a higher level, a purpose, a provision. There's a calling that lets us know that we're called to be more than we've ever imagined. But in this Advent season, we speak of those elements: love, joy, peace. And it's in that space where we realize the only way forward, the only way up, the only way to a higher level of consciousness is to leave the comfort, the security of who we come to know ourselves to be, and to think that that's really who we are. But today we come to celebrate. For we know that there's a greater level of love, there's a greater level of joy. If we're willing to take that journey to Bethlehem, that sacred place where we become one with the Almighty Christ that's waiting for us to respond with our mind, our body, and our soul, and our actions. Greater is yours, and greater is mine, if we're willing to come on the journey.
I agree. I say yes, 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 yes. I agree. Lord, I agree. I say yes. Oh, I say yes. Yes, I agree. I walk through passionately to my yes. I say yes. Yes, I agree. I say yes. Lord, I say yes. Oh, yes, I agree.
Wow, that's powerful. Since you're already standing, why not remain standing? One of the most uncomfortable positions is to move from being seated to standing. But when we say come into agreement with the Christ, it's all about standing up, standing out, and standing above all thoughts of limitations and lack. So this message is done standing up in an uncomfortable position for me. But the whole idea was to illustrate what it's like to move yourself from being comfortable to uncomfortable. Knowing that if we move from that familiar space, that familiar place, there's a blessing. There's a greater plan. And so today, I challenge myself to go beyond just the ordinary ugly sweater. So let's really get ugly. All in love. Because that's what today is all about. It's love and joy. And reaching that higher echelon of knowing that there is greater love and greater joy. Can we do an affirmation? The year is running out, and I'm running out of affirmations. There may be more affirmations in 2025. We don't know. But can you just repeat after me? All is well, and all is in divine order. God makes no mistakes. So this minute, this moment is more magical than I recognize in the present. Because I am the present. I am the gift. And I'm gifted to give in a greater way. And so it is. Now repeat after me. I am the embodiment of divine love. I am not waiting for love. I am the force of love. In action, I radiate love. I live love. And through me, the Christ consciousness is alive in this world. I want you to look at somebody and say, I'm alive and kicking it at a higher level. You may be seated. Now, when we say those affirmations and we say those words, they're meant to be powerful. But they're not just words to be spoken. They're words to believe and to live. Now let's settle into the spirit today, because we're stepping into this force field, this cosmic force field. And it is a power, a transformational power, an energy that you have to learn to live by. And once you transcend to this higher level of thinking, of being, and doing, you realize that this is a greater force field than you ever encountered. This is where we find that there is greater love, there is greater joy to be had in our life. Now, the thing about love is that all of us have experienced love, and we've given love, and we've experienced love, and we've taken love, and we've experienced love. Because love is that thing that we give when we don't want to give, but we give it anyway. The times that we wake in the middle of the night to take care of a baby, the times that we give our very last cent, because it's love. The times that we say, just one more chance I'll give you, in the name of love. Love stretches us in ways that we never could imagine, never could fathom. We find ourselves in precarious situations because of love. Can anybody relate to that? The doing things that you never thought you would do because you did them in the name of love. And you didn't stop doing those things because in the name of love you gave more than you thought you could ever give. It stretched you beyond your comfort zone. It stretched you beyond your capacity. It's love. And it's an energy that pulls at you constantly. It just pulls and pulls. As much as you want to pull away from this energy of love, it keeps pulling you in this direction. Any hint of love, and it just pulls you in a way you just give in an extraordinary way. Anybody relate to that? And when you think about love, sometimes because you've given to the level where you never thought you could give, you think that, I don't want to do that again. Anybody ever came to the point where it was a fork in the road and you said, do I want to love again or not love again? Because love is hard. Love challenges me in a way that I don't want to be challenged again. I don't want to feel that kind of way again. Then you come back to who we are. And we are love. We need love. We want love. And it's in that crossroads where we need love, we want to have love, that we got to have love, right? Everybody wants love. And so sometimes you get so tainted by love and experiences of love that you say, I don't need to love anybody and I don't want anybody to love me. You ever been there before and know somebody who said, I don't want to be loved, I don't need love? Because love has been tainted by an experience. But today we're talking about a radical kind of love. A radical type of love that's in direct coordination with the season, with Mary and Joseph, the wise men, the shepherds, all demonstrate to us a radical type of love. Do you understand that? Not yet, but you will. So it's okay if you don't understand it right now. See, Advent teaches us unconditional love, living as love, requires a radical departure from our habits, our thoughts, and our emotions. Radical. Can you say radical? A radical departure from the familiar, from the known, from the constant, from the common. Radical. This Advent season, this Christmas season, this trip to Bethlehem is all predicated on you being radical. And that means we have to eradicate some things that you believe, some things that you are thinking, some things that you are doing. When we say radical, in most cases, radical means I'll do what I haven't been doing and move in a different direction. Because there's only two choices, one way or the other way. Is that simple? Simple message today. There's only one way or the other way. It's not my way or the highway. Although some of us think it's that way, and I've heard that a few times in my life and in my relationships, people say it's my way or the highway. I've probably used that myself a couple of times, particularly if I thought I had control or power in that situation. The power tells me, say it. Say it, Reverend Glenn. Say it. You got all the cards in your hand. You got the ace of spades. Play it. My way or the highway. You don't like it my way? There's the door. And I know some of you have had that experience before. But this radical departure from the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the behavior is where we want to be as we come upon this Christmas Eve experience, the birth of the Christ and the Christ consciousness within each and every one of us. And so we see Mary and Joseph let go of fear and they began to trust. We see the wise men who abandoned comfort and allowed faith to take over. We see the shepherds left their flocks and embraced the idea of hope. And so the whisper tells us, play it safe. Play small. Stick with the familiar. Don't try anything different. It may not work. Anybody familiar with those whispers of the mind? Don't do it. Don't try it. Don't step forward. Don't step out of the comfort zone. Keep being who you are, and maybe you'll make it to death. Does you part from your thoughts, your feelings, and emotions that hold you back. But see, in this season, we saw Mary and Joseph, the wise men, the shepherds, who are the central figures in this thing that we call the Christmas story. But we see them knowing that God had a greater love for them. Check this out. Knowing that God made them with love, so love was inside of them, and because they were created with love, they deserve to experience love at a greater level of love and a greater level of joy. Did you get that? Think about that. Think about it. God made us with love, so love is inside of us, and because we were created with love, we deserve greater love and greater joy. Now, if you buy into that, you understand where I'm going. But if you don't, we have some work to do. So I think we have some work to do this morning. Am I right? A little bit of work to do. So let me work. Luke 1:37 declares something that I hang my hat on. You ever hang your hat on something that was a principle, that was the truth, and you just knew if this thing is right, then there are no limits. There are no lack. No matter where I started, I can finish on top. And it just simply says, for nothing will be impossible with God. So if I form a union, a oneness with God, what's impossible? Nothing is impossible. And so that means everything is possible. And so I think every day about the possibilities, not the impossibilities, because the impossibilities don't exist in a possible mindset. You understand where I'm going? And so we see this mindset brings us to the fact, once again, everyone wants love, everyone wants love, everyone wants love, everyone needs love, everyone needs love. And so with that comes, are you attracting love? Are you attracting love? It's kind of like if you're looking for a mate and you ask yourself, am I attractive? Reverend woman just goes right to her face and says, of course I am. Well, we start asking ourselves, am I attractive? But the greater question is, am I attracting love? The law of attraction. But it's really the law of our attraction. I just want to change out those words. You're familiar with the law of attraction, right? And we talk about the law of attraction as a man or woman thinking. But let's go a little bit deeper in there. The law of our attraction. To attract love, to attract joy, to attract miracles, I must be love. I must radiate love. You must live as love. So the question becomes today, are you the love? I must be love, I must radiate love, and you must live as love. Repeat after me. I am love. I'm open to love. Think about that. But the question is, are you really acting as love? Are you really speaking love language? Are you acting in love? Are you making yourself attractive to love? And love brings about all the things that you want to be, to do, to have. But love isn't easy, right? But love tells us, cheer up. Cheer up. You ever heard that before? Cheer up. And why do we cheer up? Because when we take love to the next level, we begin to cheer in a joyful way. And this is where we come to the fact, love isn't easy. Did we realize that? I see people shaking heads, smiling, and we realize that love isn't easy. But here's the truth about love. Unconditional love, living as love, requires us to radically trust God, step away from normalcy, and walk into the unknown, knowing the Christ consciousness will sustain us and transform us. Charles Fillmore said that. Charles Fillmore said that at a historical point in his life, at the beginning of the unity movement. He says, the things that are holding me back are my inability to be receptive, open to love. And so he says, unconditional love, living as love, requires us to radically trust God, step away from normalcy, and walk into the unknown, knowing that Christ's consciousness will sustain us and transform us. In a quote, that's everything that we want out of life, isn't it? Look at that. How do I trust God? Trust God unconditionally. How do I step away from the normal pace and space of my life? The greatest attachment we have is to the normal things that are happening in our life. Staying with the familiar too long. Anybody relate to that? You've been in scenarios, been in situations, and it's too long. And so you began to look outward. You began to blame God for it. How long, Lord? How long before I'm delivered? And God responds when you make a move. Anybody ever been encountered with that question that you ask God and somebody just says, make a move? Where I'm from, we just say, make a move. It's kind of like being in the club and somebody say, bust a move. Make a move, bust a move. But it says get out of your normal pattern, your normal comfort zone, and do something different. Walk into the unknown, the unfamiliar. This is all the season is about. Leaving the familiar and going into the unfamiliar and trusting God that what God says, I have plans for you, plans to prosper you, are true. That's what this is all about. And so knowing that Christ's consciousness will sustain and transform us. You have to change. You can't remain the same and transform. You can't remain the same and have different. And when we understand that and move on that, we come into a situation where we're ready for radical change, radical love, and radical joy, which requires radical behavior. And so you've heard me say constantly, for most of my tenure here at Renaissance Unity, whenever I give a message, I slip it in, Brett. At the very end of my message, I slip it in, Reverend Wilmer. I slip it in, Brother Moody. I slip it in. I love you. And there is nothing you can do about it. Y'all ever heard me say that before? How I slip it in there, Steve. Daisy, I just slip it in there at the very end. Thanks for having me this morning. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, what does this mean? There should be a level of curiosity if I come up and every time I deliver a message, I end it with a statement that sounds kind of awkward, sounds unusual. It sounds like maybe it doesn't belong in the context of the content of the message, but I'm ending it with something as radical as this. I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. What does that mean? Will somebody ask me, what does it mean? Now give me more energy. Say, Christmas tree man. Well, since you asked me, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. It means that I have a mindset that came about through a revelation. Can everybody say revelation? Revelation means that there was a revealing to me. Something about love and the power of love. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And what it is saying is that I have a revelation. I have this revelation that no matter what, I'm not giving love. I am love. Made from God's love. Love is embedded inside of me. It's part of my DNA, is who I am. It's not something I do. I am love. And so if that's the case, which it is the truth, I love you. And that's all I can do with you. I love you beyond anything that you display to me, because I know there has to be a greater meaning, a greater purpose to your actions that's causing a reaction to me that goes against who I am, and I am love. And all I can do is love. And I know when I'm in that space of love, there's nothing you can do about it. This is unshakable. It's unbreakable. It's unstoppable. But this is principle. This is not a feeling. It's not an emotion. Problem is, we listen to all those songs and we get this idea that love is a feeling, it's an emotion. We listen to Tina Turner and she asks us the question, what's love got to do with it? Got to do with it, got to do with it. And then she tells us it's nothing but a secondhand emotion. And we sing along with it, we affirm it, we affirm it, we affirm it. It's a secondhand emotion. I don't need love because Tina Turner don't need love. And you get caught. You get caught up in affirming the negative when love is the positive, because it's not what you do, it's not a feeling and emotion, it is who you are. And so love has everything to do with it. Can we say love is all it is? Love is the law of attraction. And once you understand that, you understand that miracles begin to happen. I'm in CVS on Thursday. I go in there just to quickly pick up a gift for my team, my immediate crew in my suite. And all of a sudden, I face this dilemma. There's a long line of people. Oh my goodness, how many people are shopping CVS on a Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? And I'm there, and I'm like, I got 15 minutes, you know. And I'm sending out one of those messages, those Hail Mary prayers. Lord, help me. Anybody send out a Hail Mary prayer? It's like last minutes. I'm racing, I'm running, I got a meeting. And I'll say, Hail Mary. Lord, help me. All of a sudden, the manager is walking around, and I don't know he's the manager, but he bumps into me. He just bumps into me. Get it right, Ramon. Get up here. I'm just in line. He just walking, not paying attention. He just bumped me hard. And I said, I'm sorry. And he said, no, I'm sorry, I bumped into you. I said, no, it doesn't matter. You know, it's the season to be jolly. He said, your attitude is so different from anybody else. What are you trying to get? And just got a couple items. And he said, well, why don't you come with me? I said, no. These people online. He said, sir, I've been dealing with people with bad attitude all day. Come over here. So he goes to the register, checks me out, and the reason why I couldn't use a little whatever it is do-it-yourself checkout is because I'm buying gift cards, and I didn't know. If you buy over a $50 gift card, they have to check you out. And so he checks me out, and then I noticed what he did. He put up the sign, line closed. Little miracles happen every day. So it's this idea of radical love. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. But then the question becomes, what blocks the miracles? What blocks the manifestation? What blocks the moments that we want to celebrate in our life, the moments where we want to experience greater love, greater joy? What blocks those manifestations? What blocks our miracles? What is it? He said humanity. I love you, John. I love you. But you're on a different page today. That's too simple. Humanity. The simple answer is our energy is so tied up in emotions and actions that negate unconditional love. Let that sink in. The answer is simple. Our energy, can we say energy? I started off this message telling you that love is a force field. It's an energy, right? And so if you're not experiencing love, if you're not experiencing the manifestations of the things that you want to manifest, if you're not manifesting your miracles, you have to come to the point where what's going on inside of me? What am I radiating outward? And it always comes back to the simple thing that your energy field, your emotions, your actions are negative as it relates to love. Look at you. Like I called somebody out there, boss. I didn't call somebody else. Now here we go. Illustration. When you feel fear, you block love. When you hold on to grudges, you block love. When you hold on to anger, you block love. And when you hold on to resentment, you block love. If you hold on to doubt, you block love. If you have insecurity, you're blocking love. Is anybody holding on to any of those things right now? Tell the truth and shame the devil. All we're doing is teaching. That's all we're doing is teaching. Because the idea is to manifest the things that you want to experience in your life. Greater love, greater joy, greater prosperity, greater health. And the list goes on, doesn't it? Of the things we want. But when I see you and I test your energy field, if it's repelling, it can't be attracting, right? If it's repelling love, it can't attract love, right? The law of attraction tells us what? It tells us that where our energy flows, so goes our mind, our thoughts, our actions, and our experiences. 1 John 4:18 reminds us there is no fear in love, but perfect love does what? I don't think they heard me, Brett. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. Perfect love is when I say, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm turning my eyes, my ears, my everything towards love and being attractive to love. And love changes the experiences of other people. And because you set yourself up as an agent of love, an agent of attraction, you begin to attract the things that you want. Problem is, most people walk around like they don't want anything. They don't want love. Like they're having a bad experience in life. And so when I see that kind of person, I go up to them and say, how you doing? But most people just walk on by. That's what we do, don't we? If somebody doesn't look approachable, receptible, walk on by. And so here it is, that radical love that we want today. Matthew 2:10 says something. When they saw the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. And in that moment, they must have realized the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. And so if I let the Lord lead me, which is the Christ inside of me, I'll never have to want again. I'll just move towards that star. See, that star was the North Star, but that star was more than just a star. That star was guidance. It was provision. It was fulfillment. Can we say that? Guidance, provision, fulfillment. And so the question is, can you handle greater love and greater joy today? To see a star requires us to look up. Go with me on this journey. To see a star, we must look up. And when we look up to the star, we keep reaching because the star reminds us of our divine destiny, our highest joy, and the limitless love of the Christ. And that's by Chaz. So repeat after me an affirmation. I want you to say it in a powerful way, a meaningful way. Just say, I am love in action. I let go of habits that resist and restrict love. I step into the radical, transformative power of unconditional love. And I am made new. This Advent season, I ask you to step into the Christ consciousness that leads you to a higher and higher place of experiencing greater love and greater joy. Renaissance Unity, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Thank you for having me this morning, and God bless each and every one of you.